What's going on, man? It's your boy TC with Curl Capital Consulting. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you how to build your credit profile from scratch, showing you exactly what to put on your credit profile to being able to get access to anywhere between $50,000 to $250,000 of the bank's money. So when it comes down to credit, a lot of us just been miseducated about credit when we was younger. So now in our adulthood is really affecting us because we don't know how to utilize credit the right way. But in this video, I'm gonna teach you the strategy on how you'll be able to use credit to really change your lifestyle and being able to really start a business where you'll be able to turn yourself up, man. So the thing about it is you gotta have the ability to unlearn the information that you was already taught about credit. If you don't create the room to access the new information, it's gonna be difficult for you to be able to get at this information I'm about to teach you. So the first thing I want to tell you is don't think because of the lack of money is what's holding you back. No, it's the lack of information. If you can understand how much your Social Security is worth, you'll realize you'll be able to go get anything you want from the bank. A lot of us just have the wrong mindset. We need more discipline and more information that we need to execute. But don't worry, I'm about to give you all the information to where you will be able to turn yourself up. So the very first thing you're gonna have to do when you're trying to learn this credit information where you'll be able to leverage the bank money, you're going to need a mentor. I know for a lot of us, it's hard to pay somebody we don't know, paying a stranger to being able to give us information, and we scared that somebody may run off with our money, but that's gonna be the quickest way you're gonna succeed in this game. Remember, a mentor is gonna be somebody who can teach you, and you pretty much can learn from the mistakes that they already made. See, the thing is we have to switch our mindset. We gotta pay to speed up the time to where now we'll be able to get in the game faster, man. You can get this information if you want to sit down and really educate yourself, man, but it's going to take you twice as longer trying to do it yourself. Talking about far as the mistakes that you're going to make, far as the strategies that you think work and you're taking a chance on versus going to somebody who already have the blueprint for you laid out. Now you just got to go execute that information. So once you actually go find that mentor, make sure your mentor at least got 4+ years in the credit game. The worst thing you can do is go find a mentor with less experience, and now when they get caught in hiccups, they can't even teach you because they haven't been through enough in the credit industry to being able to give you the right game. So make sure you have an experienced mentor, man, because the more experienced your mentor is, the more you'll be able to seize and you'll be able to find different loopholes in the system just because they've been through the ins and outs. Now for me, my first mentor had 10+ years in the game. Like I say, when I went and invested, I think it was $2,500, my first investment to where I gave a stranger my money that I wanted to learn from. It was a very scary situation. It was a very scary situation because I wasn't in position to being able to go pay somebody because I was had that same mindset of, man, I don't want to get scammed out of my money. But I got tired of living the same life that I was living, man. I used to wake up going to a FedEx truck every morning to deliver packages, and I absolutely hated it. I was getting underpaid, overworked. But when I was on this FedEx truck, I used to watch hella videos to where now I'm like, man, I got to get myself out of this situation, man. So that's what I loved about my driving job. It allowed me to listen to different people, and I was able to watch videos, talk to different people about the information I was learning, and that would help me scale into the game and taking a chance. So I had to get over that hump though. Trust me, you're gonna have to get over that hump too. You're gonna take a certain type of mentality and a certain type of risk for you to being able to go up the ladder and change your situation. So when it come down for me being your mentor, I've been in the game 5+ years, and I helped a lot of people as far as with business credit, personal credit, funding, helping them get their credit right to get the funding. So I have taught a nice amount of people to where now you will be able to come to my community and learn as well. So if you hit the link below, you will be able to get a free trial to join my community and see the information that I have to offer. And then I don't mind being your mentor. But if I'm not for you, it's so many different people teaching this game, man. So just go find the right person. So when it comes down to the second thing, after you find your mentor, we need to learn how to read a credit report. So when it comes down to reading the credit report, I get on so many consultation calls a day. And then when I speak to people, they always say, I go to Credit Karma to check my credit scores to see where I'm at. And I automatically stop them in their steps and say, we need to stop being so attached to Credit Karma because Credit Karma does not give us our real score. I tell people, if you're going to use Credit Karma, do not just go by the score. I just use to see what's on my credit, but I will not judge Credit Karma when I'm trying to go get approvals. I'm gonna give you two that I use. You wanna go to a place that's gonna give you your FICO score because that's what the banks are actually looking at. So one credit monitoring that I like to use is MyScoreIQ. If you want access to your MyScoreIQ account, you can hit the link below as well. And I got a credit monitoring where you'll be able to get access to this MyScoreIQ for $1. So that way you can see your real scores. So my next one is gonna be Experian. Experian is also gonna give you a FICO score. So these are my top two on where you will be able to go check your credit profile and your credit scores. That way you can see exactly what the bank's seeing. So like I said earlier, Credit Karma is not somewhere I'm going to being able to see if I get approved because they use a scoring model called Vantage 3.0. And a lot of big banks do not use this scoring model. They use FICO system. So next, once you actually learn how to read a credit profile the right way, the next thing you need to check on your credit report to make sure you have no collections on there. You need to make sure you have no charge-offs. No late payments. The banks will not take you serious if you got late payments on your credit profile. And last, low inquiries. And when I say low inquiries, this means we do not need to have more than 3 or more inquiries on each bureau within the last 6 months. Because if you do, banks call this phishing. And if you got more than 3 or more, you're going to get a denial no matter how strong your credit profile is. So this is a key one, low inquiries. So if you got any of these 4 on your credit report, any of these 4, that means it's grounds for credit repair. You can't skip this step. You're trying to get 50 to 250,000 from the bank. It's going to be hard to get any approvals if you don't have this intact. So when it comes down to credit repair, it's going to be 2 things on how you're going to get your credit repaired. It's either you taking the time to sit down and learn how to fix your own credit, which you got different ways you'll be able to fix your own credit. You got ChatGPT will help you. Also, you can learn consumer law. They got Metro 2. It's so many different ways you can learn to fix your own credit, but you got to put the time in. Or if you don't have the time, you want to expedite your situation, you need to go pay somebody to fix your credit. Don't be afraid to pay people to put you in a better position. For me, I do credit repair. I help a lot of clients get to goals, what they trying to reach, far as funding, far as buying a house or car, but mainly for funding. A lot of people that I deal with, they said, I don't want to learn credit repair. I don't have the time to learn it. So they came to me to fix a problem. But one thing you can't do, if you don't want to pay nobody, you're going to have to learn how to do it yourself. You won't be able to skip the process. So I always tell people, make sure you're knowing exactly what you're doing. If not, go pay somebody. That way you can go ahead and get these items removed so you can go ahead and get to the bag way quicker. And if you need help, I got another link down there to being able to get on a free consultation with me and my team, and we'll be gladly to help you get to your goal. So I'm going to go over these steps again. 1, mentor. 2, learn how to read a credit report. 3, and if you got any of these, you need credit repair. So the next step, once you get these 3 steps down, the next step is going to structure your personal credit out the right way. So when you structuring your personal credit, it's so important to make sure that you structuring it right. So when it's time to go to the banks, they can take you serious and they want to give you the max in funding. So I'm gonna tell you, do not go fill your credit profile out with just credit builders. If you're not familiar with what credit builders are, we're looking at putting accounts on our credit such as Chime, Self Account, Ava, Rent Reporters. Don't get me wrong, these accounts are cool and you will generate a score, but when you go into trying to go get that bag from the bank, we want to go with real institutions, and I'm going to show you exactly what they look like. But when it comes down to personal structure, the institutions that I would like to start off with is going to be probably your tier 1. I want to start off with Discover and Capital One. So the reason I choose these 2 institutions, these are going to be the easiest ones to get into when you start building from scratch. So more than likely, you're going to have to start off with a secure credit card with them as well. So if you're not familiar with a secure credit card is, a secure credit card is me just taking my money, giving it to this institution, and now they'll put it in credit form for me. So now I'm borrowing it against myself. So the good thing about this, now they'll be able to report on-time payments as long as you're making the payments on time. And now this will start building some type of credit history for me. So the one thing I tell people when you start this process and you go into the secure credit cards, I tell people make sure you keep your cards on auto pay. That way you don't ding a late payment. If you ding one late payment, it's gonna mess everything up and you're gonna have to start all the way from scratch a lot of the times. So make sure that you build with these two companies. Typically, the minimum what they want is $200 per institution, to where now you putting $200 a piece to start building these secure credit cards. So these are the two accounts that I'll start off with. The next thing I want to do a secure loan, which they call it a pledge loan as well. If you're not familiar, a lot of people say pledge loan. They pretty much the same thing. So when it comes down to the secure pledge loan, the two institutions that I would recommend is if you're able to get into Navy Federal, which they are known credit union, and they good for credit building. Also Regions. So like I said, I want to build with real institutions. So with the tier 1, we got Discover and Capital One, real institutions that a lot of banks are familiar with. On the secure loans and pledge loans, I want to build with Navy Federal and Regions. These are two big banks as well. So now I got 4 institutions instead of just credit builders. So now I may take one credit builder, but I'm not going to load my profile with credit builders. So we just say we'll do a self account. And I'll give you another option. Like I said, I won't recommend all along, but I'll put Chime just in case you want to choose a different one. Chime, and then I might put Ava. So if you choose one of these accounts to go with your 4 institutions that you already build with, now you have 5 primary accounts. Remember, we want primary accounts on our credit profile. Primary accounts is basically me going to open up these accounts using my social security number. I'm the owner of these accounts. The more accounts that you got in your name and you're the owner of, the more likely you will build your credit profile out where banks take you serious, because they don't want your credit profile just built with all authorized users and pretty much you piggybacking off somebody else's credit to bring your scores up versus holding your own weight. So this is key. So now, once I get these 5 accounts on here, I want to add 2 authorized user accounts. Now I have 5 in my name and I piggyback off 2 authorized user accounts, and we call them AUs for the ones who are not familiar with it. I want 1 credit card over a 10K limit. It don't matter the age on this one. Like, I just want to have a high limit. That way, when I go for funding, once I'm building out my credit profile, they'll see that 10K limit. So when it come down to the next authorized user card, I want that authorized user card to have at least 5+ years on the credit card. And the reason why, because the older that credit card is, the more age you add to your credit. So when it comes down to credit age, banks typically don't like to give larger limits to somebody who got young credit. But you'll be able to skip the line if you add age to your credit profile, because now, even if you just starting off from scratch with them other 5 accounts that I showed you, by adding an AU with a larger amount of age on it, now this will increase your credit age on your credit profile. It'll look like you will have more years in the game when you just starting off, and this will help you strike larger limits. So you really got to think about it. If I come in there with a 700 credit score and I got 4 years of total age on my credit, and you walking in right behind me and you got a 700, but you only got 6 months of age history, who you think they're going to get the most money to? So this is the type of game we got to play with the banks. We got to go in there already prepared, man. But don't worry, I'm giving you the sauce now so you'll be ready for it. So once you actually get those 5 primary accounts that I showed you and these 2 authorized users, you have 7 accounts on your credit profile. And what I want you to do is let these age for at least 6 months. At least 6 months. See, the thing is, sometimes we be so in a rush trying to get our credit profile right. We be in a rush, but when it come down to building credit, it's gonna take time. So I tell people all the time, so if you come in, you trying to get credit repair, and you got negatives on your credit profile, people still forget about the building. So the building is just as important than you removing the negative items because they go hand in hand. I always tell people, if you're going through your credit repair stage and you knocking negative items off your credit profile, at the same time, you need to be building. That way you're killing two birds with one stone. So that's a gem right there for you. But once you get all this set up and you age it and let it seize for 6 months, this will now put you in the game for business funding. And we'll do business funding on another video, but this is the main structure you need. So a lot of times people think you can get business funding just by opening the LLC and getting the EIN, and now, oh, I could put a couple net 30s on there and now I'm in position to get business funding. That's not the case. I say 98% of people are gonna have that personal structure that I showed you guys to get in the game when it comes down to business funding. So if you like the information that I just gave you on this video, please like, share, subscribe so more people can get this information. So make sure y'all check out the links below if you want to being able to go ahead and speed your journey up. I got a lot of information down there for you guys. And if you want to book a one-on-one call with me, just text the word credit to 901-660-5086 and I'll be gladly to sit down one-on-one with you and we can come up with a strategy. Let's get it.